Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Now, that is a three-way, you and Lawrence O'Donnell, all within the course of an hour.
Don't tell Lonnie.
Yes. You need, and I think in a proper three-way, you need one person who's a little angrier than necessary and one person who's a little gentler than necessary. And the other person in the middle just has to, be kind of flexible in their attitude.
Okay, listen, you are the explainer of things of the Stephanie Miller Show, so only you could have. Okay. You said Trump says he won Iowa 3 times. Ted Cruz won the Iowa caucus in 2016. Therefore, Ted Cruz is Donald Trump, which means Donald Trump is the Zodiac killer, and Trump was born in Canada and can't be president. Fred Trump was involved in the Kennedy assassination, and Melania is ugly. Okay.
It's math.
Somehow,
I don't make the news. I just report it.
Right.
Well, go ahead, please, because there's so
you've
much.
You've procreated, have a little boy.
Yes.
It's just, of all the extraordinary tableaus, yesterday, him screaming and waving his arms like a baby in a high chair at the judge yesterday. It's just...
Oh, yeah. Wanting to get kicked out. Because here's the thing, because he knows that he doesn't want to be there. Right. That statement about like it's below you or whatever, that's a fantasy lawyer. That's somebody in his own head. Like he externalizes his own thoughts into a fictional human being all the time. He apparently, and this is his new thing when he's talking about controversial topics, because he's playing like rough, edgy comic while he's at these things. Like, I'm being canceled for saying these things. My staff is going, sir, please don't say these things or whatever. These idiots I pay a lot of money to are like, okay, why would I want you to be my president if all you hire are idiot sycophants you don't listen to? You're a moron. But beyond that, he wants to get kicked out of this courtroom because he wasn't there last time. That whole because
he's always the victim. He's looking for any new storyline that wow, poor me, I'm the.
When you're less controlled in a courtroom than Johnny Depp, you have problems. Like at a certain point. He's transitioning quickly into Gary Busey territory, and his followers know it.
Al Pacino almost, you're out of order. You're out of order.
I'm out of order. It's more like, hey, I've been here sitting in this courtroom since before the judge even showed up. Okay, I have a secretary, and she is dynamite, and she told me that I shouldn't say all these things, so I said you're fired, but she's still here. I don't get it. Isn't Alina hot? Like he's. The weird part is watching his followers deal with it.
Yeah.
And, more than anything. And the shrinking crowds.
Yes.
The New Hampshire
incredible
crowd
shrinking
last night,
crowds.
which was a couple hundred people in a Ramada hotel. It reminds me of that
of conspiracy
Spinal
theories,
Tap line.
What's on his hands? What the actual is on his hands? James Carville says syphilis. I don't.
Yeah, tertiary. Why do we all have to know what tertiary syphilis is? Like, why is that the word of the week? Thanks, Reading Rainbow. What the hell?
But he said they don't look like cuts. Because I was thinking, maybe it was from a ragegasm. But he said they don't look like cuts. They look like sores. Which okay,
yeah,
but
right. Well, here's one other option. Remember how last time he's always talking about being a germaphobe, and he mentioned that even though it's not true, and he doesn't even know what the word means. But because you wouldn't eat what he ate, and tweet where you poop if you touch your phone the way he does if you were a real germaphobe. But anyways, he had this thing. That's why he didn't shake hands with people. Okay, that just tells you that's what happens when a celebrity gets a wart for the first time, when they shake hands with a bunch of people and they're like, ugh. I got a wart, and I blame you nasty people. Roseanne, Howie Mandel, I don't care who it is, that's what it all boils down to. It's just you shook hands or bowled with the wrong bowling ball at a bowling alley, and you got a wart, and that was that. I wouldn't doubt that he's had a glad hand for the first time ever. He's having to do retail politics like he's in the run-up to a general.
Yeah.
He's having to shake hands with all these weirdos over and over again, these front row Joes.
Yeah.
Who, all of them, just, like, it's so nasty. So I wouldn't doubt it if he had 3 warts burned off his hand. I'm dead serious.
Okay, this is all making me more nauseous. Every new theory is making, untreated sores. Okay.
Blah.
I like fighting number 2.
You you retweeted candidate speeches over at this site for the Iowa caucus in West Des Moines. Voters jotted their candidate on a sheet of paper before they were all collected in a brown grocery bag.
Right.
In some places they were doing it in popcorn
Yeah,
buckets.
it was
You were like,
ridiculous.
what happened to the whole voter integrity, voter ID?
Voter ID. Where are you checking ID? Half these idiots were front row Joes that aren't even from the state. Half the people he introduced from the stage either were, obviously Marge and all those crowds showed up, but the people he was just kind of rando pointing out that were there aren't from Iowa. And I guarantee some of them bought their caucus captain hat and were wandering around the Iowa caucuses like, dude, you used to live in Maryland and you've been driving around in a Winnebago deadheading for Donald Trump. Are you even registered anywhere? What the ever-loving hell?
I love that
Who are these people?
You're just enjoying all of this. You retweeted Laura Loomer, right-wing lunatic, who said, a lot of grifters are deleting their anti-Trump posts tonight. I saved all of them. It's too late for you traitors. And you said she's talking to her fellow Republicans. Munch, munch, popcorn.
Right. I said last year there would not be enough popcorn for 2023, and I was right. 2024, I would buy stock in popcorn. The amount of just must-see dip crappery, I'll just put it this way, that you're going to see is going to be off the charts. It is the hardest thing for us in the Sexy Liberal Tour is coming up with jokes that are as absurd and obtuse and funny as what's actually happening in reality.
Cliff Schechter just yesterday on the show said, because this whole God made, that ad, God made Trump, God sent Trump, and he's like, if God sent a vessel, would it have untreated syphilis? And then what's the news today? Syphilis.
Right.
Right.
You're right. We can't make the comedy fast enough.
No, we cannot. It's all dead. That's why I don't write my jokes until Friday night for this thing, because I can't.
Saturday right before the show for me.
Yeah, we're just scrambling. Like, okay, what just happened? Because there's so much stuff. Like, I keep bringing up to people in normal conversation. Like, you do realize he hasn't been able to have a charity in New York for 5 years now. This is a president who couldn't start a charity in a state because he's that untrustworthy. His son stole money from St. Jude's by skimming in his charity. That's ancient history. The idea that we just kind of rump past that one like it's a speed bump because everything else is just
super
chaos.
Cute little kid on the St. Jude's and goes, you know what? That kid.
Right, yeah.
Steal that money.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Poor little Caleb.
Yes. Caleb.
Right.
He's so cute.
He's adorable. And Eric stole from him. Eric Trump stole from Caleb. And for God's sake, I'm not kidding. He did. All right, look. You know how many awful people are allowed to do business in New York City? Right? They're allowed to, okay. This guy can't even run a charity there. It's not, there is no there. And he's on a hard fade. Let's be abundantly clear.
Yeah.
It's worse. Yeah, they're running him ragged, and he's a mess.
I just said, we're just talking to Lawrence O'Donnell, their whole panel, Rachel and Joy the other night. I just keep saying we've never seen as many wild cards. I've said before, I don't think he's going to be the nominee. And, a big chunk of Republican voters have said that. So, and I don't know that he'll drop out, but Joy Reid said, what if, obviously, Rachel Maddow said, first of all, he's going to be convicted. There's a big chunk of people say they're not going to vote for him, even in the Republican Party, if he's convicted. Then what if the Supreme Court rules he can be taken off the ballot because he's been convicted? I just think we have no effing clue what's going to happen in 2024.
Well, I agree. Yeah, it's just going to be insane. But ultimately, it doesn't matter because it's already decided.
I'm sorry, Chris is flashing a picture of Caleb at me.
Oh, Caleb.
Really?
Poor little Caleb.
Is it a tattoo or?
For God's sake!
I'm sorry.
I think he's an adult now. But
Chris, do you have a tattoo? Did you just lift
Yes, I have a tattoo of Caleb on my calf.
He loves himself.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only ad we need. Trump 2024. Caleb.
This
kid.
Okay.
I'm gonna book
Can we
him
just
now.
enjoy for a moment?
And also
the weird...
Marlo Thomas.
Can we just float for a moment,
Really?
get around to the idea that they're floating Ramaswamy as VP, and Trump will never ever pick him as VP.
Right.
Beyond even the bigoted, racist reasons of his own supporters and all this stuff that an East Indian man would be his VP or whatever. But he literally won't have somebody who has more letters in their name than his.
Right.
That's one of the reasons he picked Pence, because it was even. There is no way he's going to look at a bumper sticker that says Trump Ramaswamy and goes, he's got more real estate on this bumper sticker than I do. It's not going to happen. It just isn't. For that pathetic reason.
I mean, at least Stefanik is the latest, you know, with their flow. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, dear God, could she be trying any harder? You retweeted her. She said, I'll go to the mat to stop this treasonous Senate amnesty deal. America first means putting Americans first, not illegal aliens, not Ukraine. And you said she will sacrifice U.S. border security to help Russia every single time. If she gave up about the budget, she'd give back her PPP loans. Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny that they all have these outstanding PPP loans that were forgiven, but they're like, none of them are going, that's not right. That's the American taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
I was doing just fine. Also, by the way, she paid, she took money from that loan and used it in her campaign, which I guess, so that means she's for publicly funded elections now? Is that the argument?
And in her defense, you know, she does have to buy custom shoes. It's hard to buy shoes when you have 3 toes, and so she has to have them custom made. And we're liberal helpers.
It's not the toes.
You know,
it's not
expensive.
the toes. Quit it. It's the big curled nail that eats through the front of the show over time.
Ow. Oh.
That's curled back into her skin.
Maybe Trump will pick her, and he'll use his syphilitic hands to rub her gnarled
Maybe
sloth
that's how
toe.
he got it. No, I think he stuck his fingers in Steve Bannon's mouth. I think that's the current medical.
What does John say? He looks like gout got gout. Looks like an alcoholic thumb.
I can't see anymore. You guys have blinded me with the thoughts.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, I know. It's just, I've got to go scrub my brain with steel wool.
Yeah.